Hey everyone, it's Jen, and I apologize for not being on for about a week. But luckily today, I have three new scary stories from the subreddit Let's Not Meet. This first story was submitted by Lace a Pest 19XX. I was 11 years old. I spent the night hanging out with one of my closest friends at the time. I left around 7 o'clock. She was about a 15 to 20 minutes walk away from my house. It was the month of December, so it was icy and dark outside. While I was walking down the long sidewalk, I had to make a turn halfway. Across the turn, down the sidewalk, I noticed a man way further down. He was alone at the moment. 10 seconds later, a four-door car drove up to him. It was a long street till my turn, so I watched him talk to whoever was in the car. It sped off, and he just stopped, still watching me walk. As I kept walking, all I heard was, "Hey, you! Come here! Stop! Hey, you!" I freaked the fuck out. I started walking faster, and then noticed he started running towards me. I started running for my life. Since the ground was covered in snow and ice, all I literally thought as I was running was, "Please God, don't let me slip. Mom, 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 please help me." I was crying as I was running. He caught up extremely fast. I kept looking back and noticed the car slowly driving behind him. As I ran, I felt his arm reach out and try to grab the hood of my sweatshirt. By God's grace, his hand slipped, and I ran a block, trying to find a house with its lights on. I finally found one and banged at the door, almost ready to break it down to get in. This older couple finally answered. I ran inside, explaining what happened. The husband then went outside to try and find him. When he went out, he saw the man standing at the end of the street, staring at him. Then he ran off. My mom called the cops and pulled me out of school for 4 days afterwards. He was never found. For a while, I would buy flowers and a card and leave it on the couple's step, thanking them for saving my life. God only knows what would have happened if he got me and dragged me to the car. Let's never meet again. The second story was submitted by Taylor Life Simmer. Okay, so to start off, my mom is a teacher at a small town elementary school. At the time, she taught first grade, and after school, instead of riding the bus, I would go to her classroom. So, there was always one janitor that was off. He would stare at all the kids and yell at them when they were in the hall alone to watch out for strangers. Nobody got a good vibe from him. He had the creepiest dead eyes that looked like he was trying to look into your soul. He also had a very weird voice, like it had no emotions at all. My friend's mom also was a teacher, so me and her sisters would often hang out. One day, her youngest sister, who was in kindergarten at the time, went to use the bathroom, and when she came back, she said something that drained the color from all of our faces. The creepy guy asked if I was in there, and I said yeah, and he still came in. When the janitors clean the bathrooms, they have to make sure no one is in there, and if someone responds, they have to wait to clean. We rationalized that maybe he didn't hear her. He always did little stuff like it, and it creeped us all out, but we thought he was just a creep. A few months later, we found out he was being transferred to a new school, and that was a relief. Years go by without anything strange happening, until I noticed cops outside every entrance of the schools. I asked my mom why they were there, and she told me Stevie, the janitor, was caught sneaking into the girls' locker rooms and attempting to rape the two girls that were changing. When he was arrested, he said that he would kill the principal, the superintendent, and anyone who got them fired, so that's why the cops were there, to protect everyone at the school. So, creepy janitor guy, let's not meet again. This third story was submitted by Daniel1222. Some background first. I'm an 18-year-old guy. I'm tall, 6'2", but I weigh about 140 pounds. I'm definitely not an intimidating guy. I work the late shift at work, and I don't own a car. This means I walk home from work at 1 a.m. every day. I live right on the outside of a somewhat small town with very little street lighting. My own neighborhood has none. Now, my walk home is about 15 minutes. It's usually uneventful and fine every night. But 4 nights ago, something felt off. As soon as I got onto the first unlit side road in my neighborhood, I saw this man walking in the middle of the road, about 40 feet ahead of me. Normally, I wouldn't care, so I just decided to speed up and go past him. I got about 10 feet away from him and suddenly felt a sense of pure dread and terror. This is also when I noticed this guy was naked and walking ungodly slow. I immediately shut my phone light off and froze. I saw the guy turn around and just stare at me. I was filled with fear at this point and walked back a bit. I waited a few minutes for him to walk ahead some more. Here's where it gets weird. This guy was walking at a snail's pace on the road, about a half a mile long. After waiting just a few minutes and going back to my normal place, the man is nowhere to be seen. Just vanished to who knows where. 2 days ago, in the news, there was a murder in my town, about an hour after my encounter with this man. Sure, maybe a coincidence, but that doesn't matter to me. I find a different way to go home now. Weird naked guy in the street? Let's not meet.